Hello, Cancer, and welcome to your monthly tarot reading. So this is for the month of August 2023 for Cancer sun or rising signs. So this is the more extended of the readings that I do per month. I do also do the semi-bi-weekly ones that go from full to new moon and from new moon to full moon. But this one is the one where we take a look at what major theme is coming up for the month and how the month is going to unfold and progress, challenge, and any kind of divinatory advice that comes through for you. So also I'll just mention really quickly, the first half of August astrological highlights video is also out. I'll have that linked towards the end of this video. So you can check that out. It's time-stamped so that you can go to whichever date you want to look at in the first half of the month, or to be able to come back to it at any point that you would like to. So that's there and available. Also, because we're starting out this month on the very first day of the month with a full moon, the smaller, shorter, bite-sized videos that are meant to guide you through those moon phases for that 2-week period of time, approximate 2-week period of time from full moon to new moon, will also be out. So lots of stuff to dive into. You have a lot of things you can choose to dive into at any point. So let's get into the rest of your reading. So actually I'm going to use a different deck for Cancers. I'm feeling this watery vibe kind of deck for you guys. All right, so let's take a look at what is going on for the beginning, middle, and end of the month for you, Cancer. So I'm feeling like this card just keeps sticking and really wants to come out. Oh, I like that. That's a nice beginning to the month, especially with the theme, the topic that we have coming up for you. I was feeling that card there, and I'm feeling this card here. Sweet, look at all those wands. And what kind of challenge do we have actually coming up? I'm feeling this card here at the bottom of the deck. It's interesting because I'm feeling like that is, I'll get to that actually. I'm going to save that for when I start talking about it. All right. And also what kind of spiritual advice, divinatory advice, however you like to, whatever feels good to you, that you have coming through. All right. Okay, super interesting. Let me move. My stones are starting to move onto my table. All right, Cancer, so what do we have as far as a theme? What area of life is being highlighted for you? Again, remember, these are collective readings, so if this month feels resonant, it's your message, awesome. If it's not really feeling so resonant, maybe check out your rising sign if this is your sun sign. As always, if you really want to get specific and you really want to know what's up for you, collective readings are cool. Like I watch some people for collective readings for myself, but the real deal straight up that you're going to get for yourself and have it be really specific is the one-to-one. So I am taking bookings for those. If you want to book, that's down below. So the 11th house is what's up for you. We have, the topics of this have to do with community. I mean, it says it right there, definitely community. This has to do with our alliances, our collaborations, our social groups, our friend groups, our just like our communities, our social communities, our smaller, more intimate communities, all of those are what's up here. So that's what we have. And this can be in real life, right? IRL, or this could be online as well. So you can think in terms of the groups that you belong to, or like social media where you tend to gravitate towards, and how you connect and communicate with people and collaborate possibly with people there, right? So apply that however it feels most applicable, because that could definitely be more personal, but this could also very much, for the time that we live in, this could be very much related to career as well. So however it best applies, go ahead and apply it there. We start out the beginning of the month with the 3 of Cups. And again, the reason that I really like this is because we have this showing up here with this community card, right? So already we're starting with this communal vibe at the beginning of the month. And I'm feeling like I think I vaguely remember something about one of the readings for Cancer last month. I don't remember whether it was like in the bi-weeklies or the overall month, but one of them I believe was also mentioning these themes around connecting into your communities, your friends, your social groups, like people. So for whatever reason, I believe this is like a theme that is continuing into this month. And I'm not really totally surprised by it, given the fact that we have we're in Venus retrograde throughout this entire month. And one of the things that Venus retrograde would be bringing up topics around is in our connections, right? In our harmonious connections. Not always romantic, right? Like this could be very much like what we're talking about here, community, friends, friendships, who are your inner circle. So at the beginning of this month, it's like, hey, this is a time to connect. This is a time to celebrate life. Find what is beautiful about life. Have good food, good libations, good music, dance, spend time with your friends, have some time where you are remembering what is like the sweet nectar of life. Laugh, have a good time, right? This is deeply supportive. And, I think some of us don't forget about this, but some of us do. Some people forget about the enriching experiences in life aren't always so like solemn and somber and serious, dedicated personal work and meditation. And those things are fine, well and good. And it's also important for us to taste the nectar of life and savor it, enjoy it, have honey dripping from our lips. This is a part of life that is worth experiencing. It's the things that make it all worth it, right? So remember to laugh and have a good time. In the middle of the month, we have the 9 of Wands. So I'm feeling like this connection, this need for being connected in with your community is in part necessary because there is this, there's more to go. I have a lot to get done or concentrate on, and I can't stop now. So you have the ability to be either the seasoned warrior with stamina and endurance, bringing forward the wisdom of all of your experiences, battles that have come previously and gotten you to this point in your life. And with whatever is on deck for you in life, whether that is career, a move, a relationship, whatever, all of those things, right? Anything that you're up to, it's like there's something that's calling you forward to tap into your reserves of strength and endurance to continue and keep going, right? And so I say that you can show up in 2 ways because that's one way that you can show up. The other is to be this weary, drained, exhausted, wounded warrior who is in serious need of rejuvenation, healing, nurturing, downtime to recharge. And so those are very different kinds of warriors that are able to, it's like when you're pushing from a place of depletion, obviously it's going to be so much harder to continue and to move forward. And so you have the opportunity to choose which one you're going to do. And I believe that what I'm feeling here is tapping into your friendships, your alliances, your connections, your collaborators, your community. Those are going to help be kind of like your safety net, right? And your support structure, a part of what can help you to feel like you have the structure and support to move forward, to keep going, to move on, right? And so that's what's coming through in the middle of the month here. It's like, can't stop yet, gotta keep going, and I would definitely say take care of your health. Definitely make sure that you are taking care of your health on all levels, not just getting enough sleep, drinking water, right? But and moving your body, right? But also making sure that you're taking care of your mental health, your emotional health, your energetic health, whatever that looks like for you in terms of spirituality, right? That's different for everyone. So make sure that you're doing those things so that you can be recharged and ready and have the energy to continue and to move forward. The last third of the month that we have showing up is the King of Wands, and with the King of Wands, we're really looking to how are you stepping into your personal responsibility about the world that you are creating for yourself, the life that you're creating for yourself, what you are wanting to do, what adventures are you wanting to go on, listen to your intuition, tap into your confidence and your charisma and your courage and how can you own that so that you can step into a place of leadership. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are being a leader of like just being a leader of others in your life or in like a certain area like work or whatever. This can also be you stepping into the role of being a leader of your life, right? Like sometimes we go about life like we are the side character as opposed to the main character. And it's like, this is stepping into personal responsibility and into a leadership type role where it's like, I'm going to take the lead in my own life, right? And so that's what's showing up here. That's what's being called for. And it is at a time where astrologically, it's a little bit more challenging at this particular time, right? We come into the end of the month and we're going to have Venus and Mercury retrograde at the same time. There's some other things happening. You can go watch the astrology highlights video for more if you want to know about that. But like, suffice it to say, like the energy with these two personal planets slows us down to reconsider and to review what we really want before we actually move forward, right? And that's the thing also about the King of Wands. The King of Wands is like on, usually in most depictions, what you see is he's at the edge of his seat, almost like he's ready to leap off into the next adventure. And he trusts his intuition and he trusts the passion, the creativity, everything that's coming forward. So maybe this is a time to review what it is that you are wanting to create, that you feel passionate about, that you creation through creativity in your life. Like, what are you feeling into, and how are you going to go about creating that next? I'm not saying to leap off into it now, but just embodying this kind of archetype. I see that as being really helpful for you in your life here. When we look at the challenge that's coming through, it's the Nine of Cups. Okay, so like there is celebratory time and then there is get to work time. And so one caution with this is spending too much time in patting yourself on the back. It's kind of like, I go through cycles sometimes where I'm like, oh, I did like 3 hard things, or 3 things that were not necessarily hard, but like that I was avoiding. Like, it was just like, oh, I don't want to do it. Like, I'm avoiding it. It feels like it's going to be just more effort than I want. And then I'm like, oh, I should reward myself by taking more downtime, right? And it's just like, I can fall into that trap myself. So I'll call myself out here and say that. So like, that's kind of the vibe, is like, there's a time for celebrating achievement and for celebrating life. And then there's a time for, not being like falling into a place of complacency or laziness, and like, it's time to get to work. So that's part of what comes up as far as like a challenge, is like, you might feel tempted to be like, oh, I did this, and so therefore like I deserve a long break. Not to say not to give yourself breaks and rewards, but like to a degree where it's an excess, or you can see it's clearly procrastination or slowing yourself down. It's not really serving you. Like, okay, maybe not the best idea. And something around that is coming through in terms of like ending these types of patterns. Now I will say that like, for your spiritual advice, it's like, it looks like not so great, right? So as far as spiritual advice goes, you're like, whoa, that's a harsh looking card. But the thing I like to point out to people that I think people typically miss or forget about is that it, like, yes, this is over. This is done. Whatever pattern, or like maybe even having to do with social circles, like if there were certain social circles that you were a part of and it's kind of like, that's coming to a close. Sometimes we just grow in different directions, or life circumstances change, and that chapter might close. Maybe they appear somewhere further down and like several chapters later, but like, it's done, it's like done. It's so done that it can't be any more done, right? Like, this guy cannot die any more than he's dead, right? However, so the reminder, coming back to that, is this dawning of a new day. You see this dawn coming through the dark night, and there's this dawn. And when we allow things to fall away that are no longer fitting in our life, like, it's easy for us to, like, it's so overused, but it's still so like worth saying, is that yes, we need to let the things fall away that no longer serve us. But I think it's said so much that it's turned into one of those like eye roll things where it's just like, stress can create all kinds of problems in your life, and people go, yeah. And it's like, we don't realize, like, no, really, it can wreak havoc in so many ways. And so we forget about like how serious that really is. So in this way, it's like, yeah, the letting things fall away that no longer serve is just like, it rolls off the tongue. But are you really examining that? Not just what no longer serves, like what doesn't fit anymore is another way of saying that. Like what's no longer working, what no longer fits, what is holding you back, what is like keeping you weighed down and not allowing you to like look towards a new day. We have to be able to put that to the side or behind us so that we can move forward into a fresh new start. That's what that dawning of a new day is. It's hope springs eternal. It's hope starting again. It's the beginning of the day means there's so many possibilities in front of us. It's not the end of the day, it's the beginning of the day. Oh wow, it's a whole new day. I have all of these possibilities in front of me, right? So that's the spiritual advice that's coming through for you. So, I would say, definitely, if you're curious about how this plays into with like the astrology that's coming up, if it's not already up on the screen, it'll be up on the screen momentarily here, where you can go check out the astrological highlights for the first half of August. And like I said, that's time-stamped, so you can jump around to different dates and come back to it whenever you like. And yeah, if this was helpful, if it was insightful, please give the video a like. It helps me appease the whoa, that bird helps me appease as I was gonna say, the algorithm gods. And also while you're at it, may as well just subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos that come out on the horizon. Remember that also besides this and the astrological highlights, there is the full moon to new moon 2-week-ish video that will also be out. And that's a smaller little snippet for like guidance over that 2-week period of time, zooming in. So thank you for your time. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.